everybody, this is Dave, Secret Squirrel 123 on what's actually episode 11 of the Squirrel Hole. And today we're doing a little bit something different, okay? We're going to actually discuss the breach. We're going to take a few minutes to discuss the breach and tell you why it's a big thing and why it's not a big thing. All right, for the first time ever since this war's been going on, you're going to have a huge battle probably between basically NATO and Warsaw Pact equipment or Soviet equipment. This is stuff that's been around forever, a lot of it's been around since the 60s. T-62, the BTRs, the BMP-1s, all this stuff will be engaging Challengers, all sorts of Leopards, and 113s and even BMPs on the side and everything. So, in addition to TOWs, Soviet-era anti-tank missiles, the good old Carl Gustav, the AT-4, and even the good old updated law. Okay, everything's going to be used. You're going to see everything. And by the way, this is why it's much better than the RPG-7, because you just use it, throw it up on your shoulder, and then throw it away. Grab another one, open it up. But I digress. Okay, so what's going to happen is for the first week or two before the event happens, you're going to see all along the line basically everything start lighting up because they don't want to let the Russians know exactly where they're attacking through. So you're going to see the line from basically Kharkiv all the way down to Crimea light up. You're going to see so much artillery being shot that you're going to wonder where all this ammo has been coming from. Well, it's been getting stockpiled. They're not like Russia where they're using everything as fast as they can get it. The Ukrainians have to stockpile the ammunition. So all along the line, all 800 kilometers of it basically, the Ukrainians are going to be shooting day and night. And they're going to be calling in the drones and working over the first line of troops. Now, you're going to have every machine gun trained. You're going to have every rocket launcher, every recoilless rifle engaged all along the line. So, let's get down to the trench. Now, or the breach. Now, every defensive line is slightly different. But you got basic elements. TM62 mines right here. You've got the Dragon's Teeth. You're going to have a trench. You're going to have more landmines. You're going to have your first line of infantry. A lot of in-placed guns, BMPs, broken tanks. If they can still shoot, they'll be dug in. Then you're going to have headquarter elements behind it with indirect fire, battalion QRFs, more landmines, headquarters. Back there you're going to have QRF, brigade QRF, and you're going to have tube launch artillery and rocket launch artillery. You do not want to kill every Russian soldier. You don't have time for it. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to have a group of tanks come up here, tanks, armored personnel carriers, and start pounding the line, trying to take out every position in the forward area. At the same time, artillery is going to be on direct support to hit artillery back there, rocket and tubed. Now, while this is going on, planners are going to actually make a box on a map. Probably going to be 20 to 30 kilometers wide, 20 to 30 kilometers deep. And in that box, everything that's Russian is going to die. That's the plan. So you'll have all these vehicles pull up on the line and start pounding the Russians. Then the next thing you're going to see is this. This baby right here. This is a MICLIC, mine clearing line charge. It goes off, usually it's on a trailer, and it'll go off, shoot over the line, and explode in every TM62, and most of the anti-personnel mines that are there will be gone. Okay? They will be crushed by overpressure and set off. Okay? So that is going to go over here. Now, something that a lot of people don't understand is a lot of the armored vehicles that the Ukrainians have been getting are engineer vehicles. And they've been flying under the radar. Estonia gives this, Poland gives that, whatever. And they see an armored vehicle with no gun on it, so it doesn't really click. These are bridging assets, they're mine clearing assets, they're armored engineer vehicles. A ton of them. And that's with what the ones they already had, which was a lot. So those vehicles that get up here, they've got mine plows on them. After the MICLET goes off, they will proof this lane. It's called proofing. They will go up to the Dragon's Teeth, and those things, they're only about so big. Well, I've seen BMPs drive over them. All they're going to do is they're going to push them aside. Then they'll get to the trench. They'll probably bring up armored bulldozers or a tank with a blade on it. They're just going to fill that trench in. Or the British have a system where they have a whole bunch of sticks on top of a tank in a big bundle. They'll go up, and that'll fall into the trench, and they'll just drive right over it. Usually it takes about 3 minutes to clear a trench like that. Just drive up to it, drop stuff in it, or drive a tank into it. The British have a way that they just drive a tank into it. The other tank behind them drives right over. You do that with a bridge. All right, you get to this next minefield, you do the same thing. Launch a MICLET over it, punch through. Now you're going to have probably a couple battalions or brigade right here pushing each way left and right to widen the breach, and you continue on. Now you're going to have to engage the QRF down here, which is basically, it's just a battalion QRF, probably 4 to 6 vehicles. They'll come at you, and the drones will already be overhead pounding them, and also they'll be in this 30 by 30 kilometer kill box, so they'll have dedicated artillery ready to take those guys out. Now, your counter battery or your battery fire out here, once they start shooting, these guys will probably get 1 to 2 shots in before the firefighter radar and all the other radars back here pinpoint them and take them out. If they turn their radars on to take out this artillery, then what will happen is the Ukrainian Air Force back here will have HARM missiles and be able to lock on these radars and take them out. Now, in the last few days, I've noticed there's been about 15 to 20 major radar systems in Russia that have been taken out, so they've already started that process. So once you get past this first line of defense, take out the indirect fire, take out the company or battery or headquarters right here, you go in, you attack this, you isolate this headquarters element, and you're all good. Now, one thing we've been learning, Igor Gherkin has been pounding this, is the Russian army no longer has secure commo. The ARTS system is gone, the ARTS radio system is gone, and basically they're using Motorola radios with code words. Go attack phase line borscht or whatever. But that's what they're basically doing. They no longer have secure comms. So as soon as everything kicks off, these guys right here, the headquarters element, they're operating on a specific frequency. All the Ukrainians will do is they'll start jamming them and probably going to start playing Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, Rick-rolling them. And seriously, that's what'll happen. They'll pick an annoying song, like something my daughter plays, and they'll just jam that frequency with that song. And
my music taste is immaculate, thank you.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. So these guys will be listening to Rick Astley or Baby Shark or whatever while their unit is getting annihilated. So what'll happen after that is they get back to here. They've taken out the battalion QRF. They're engaging, direct fire engaging the artillery, both towed and self-propelled artillery. So once these cannon cockers see enemy armor in front of them, they're running. They are not designed to fire in the direct fire mode at a sustained level. All right? The next thing that'll happen is they'll engage the rocket artillery. Again, these guys cannot engage in direct fire at all. So if you've got something like this right here, this is a 50 caliber machine gun. It was designed in World War I as an anti-tank gun. These artillery batteries back here, both tube and rocket, can be taken out by that 50 cal on top of a Humvee. If you notice something, most of the vehicles that are getting in right now are wheeled. They're wheeled for a reason, for speed. Russia cannot move around very far, very fast, very effectively. So once this lane is clear, and they back here to this area right here, they're going to be going this way, horizontally, left and right, getting behind these guys and attacking them from the rear. Once you have these guys surrounded, they've got a choice. They can either fall back or be destroyed. That's it. Now, the final part of the breach is going right here. This is where their personnel, their fuel, their ammo, food, everything is secured. This is probably going to be 80 kilometers, 80, 90 kilometers in back of the line. Actually, it will be 90 kilometers in back of the line. That's a guarantee. Because ATACMs right now, or sorry, not ATACMs, HIMARS right now have a 90 kilometer range, so that's where all the stuff will be set up. Once they get back here, they'll be running the roads, and basically in the rear, the Russians have a problem with personnel. They don't have enough. So once you get 30, 40, 50,000 troops back here, pushing left and right on the front should collapse, because right about here is the Sea of Azov. Once they hit the Sea of Azov, or in the north, it'll be the Russian border, there's nothing to stop them. Literally nothing to stop them. So if this happens the way I think it will, this will shatter what's left of the Russian army. Now, the trenches, another thing about the trenches, and then we'll be about done. The trenches, there's about 7,000 kilometers of trenches they've dug so far. All the way around up to the Belarusian border, from Crimea to the Belarusian border. The Russians do not have enough troops to man half of that. So an unused, unmanned trench is a useless trench. All right, so that's probably how they're going to breach. Again, every breach is a little bit different. Every trench is a little bit different. Don't look for a lot of the Ukrainian Air Force or the Russian Air Force to be involved, because air defense will be pushed forward. Expect a lot of drones, expect a surprise. I think I know what it is. I'm not going to say what it is, but expect a surprise. And it should be pretty cool, all right?